Hi, in this video we're going to explore the stage package from Mastertones in Taiwan, an AI-powered spatialization bundle. For more great audio production content from Attack Magazine, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. I would also advise using headphones if you want to hear the differences from these plugins, which can be quite subtle. Proper monitors are fine as well. Downloading the package from the Mastertones website and installing the plugins is incredibly easy. However, it's worth noting that the VST versions of these devices only function as VST3. So if you're using a DAW that does not support audio units, make sure it does feature VST3 support. Now, since both of these are using Mastertones' proprietary Ariosa AI technology, it's difficult to say exactly what's going on under the hood. Although they purport to be emulating vintage gear, it's hard to say exactly which. The Deepener plugin advertises the ability to shift the center of the soundstage, and I'm not familiar with any precisely comparable plugins on the market. Their Widener, however, does have some competition out there already, with Waves S1 Stereo and Infected Mushroom's popular wider effect. However, neither of these are AI driven. Today I'll begin by placing an instance of Deepener on my master channel. I will go to the audio units folder of my plugins and simply drag it to the master channel prior to this limiter, which isn't doing any work. I've also got an instance of Insight that I will use to determine what might be happening in the sound field. So the Deepener and the Widener have a very similar interface, with the main difference being the color scheme and the name. The central dial is the main control. It goes from a maximum of 15 to a minimum of -15, which I presume to correspond to decibels, though this is somewhat unclear. It also features a slider to specify the range of frequencies processed by the device, which can be toggled off and on here. Generally, the focus by default is more on the low frequencies. Of course, we have input and output gain, but what's interesting is the inverse link option, which I can click here, which allows me to automatically compensate for any boost or reduction at either stage. So if I drag the output down, the input goes up accordingly. Double click to reset to the default value. Okay, so I'll start the transport to take a listen. Currently, the Deepener is ostensibly doing nothing at all. If I click bypass, I'm hearing a very slight subtle difference when I re-enable it, perhaps due to the EQ setting. I'll use Live's bypass instead. And I'm definitely hearing the low, mid, and low frequency content being pushed a bit to the front in a very subtle way. I'm going to increase the depth dial. And there's definitely some enhanced definition on the low end. I'm going to open up the frequency range now and see how that presents differently. I'm definitely hearing the overall mix as more distant at minimum settings and much more present as I increase that dial. We've also got some basic presets, and if I select front air, that's really going to boost the high frequencies as well. So I think for now, to hear the Widener in isolation, I'll turn it off and bring an instance to the Widener. To me, it makes sense to place it after the Deepener. And so here we go with a very similar interface, different color scheme, and a different label, obviously controlling width. So we can push it to mono or expand it to wide with the same +15, -15 dial in the center. And I definitely want this to extend to the higher frequencies. And we can definitely see the polar pattern changing a bit. But Mastertones advertises phaseless operation. There are no phasing issues that I'm hearing, although there is definitely some extension on the side bands, as we can see. So if you're listening in headphones, hopefully you can hear the width of the mix being enhanced, and I'll activate the deepener along with it. No Widener, deepener back on. Okay, so now I think I'll try and show how I might use these on some individual components. To make it more clear, I will deactivate these on the master channel and head over first to my drums, which I feel could use a bit of widening. They're somewhat narrow currently, with just some basic dynamics and EQ processing. So, dragging an instance of the Widener there, I can start with the Magically Wide preset, which is a subtle increase of the width, and I will again extend that to some higher frequencies and maybe exaggerate the width as well. You can also, of course, use the Widener to artificially narrow the output if need be, but I think I will expand the width of these drums considerably. On the bass, I think it would be good to experiment with the deepener. I want to boost the presence of my low end without resorting to conventional EQ trickery. And I can do that by maybe boosting the focus in the EQ range slightly above the low mids and increasing the depth. And yeah, that depth is really helping on the low end to bring out some of the detail and just, as advertised, bring the low end to the front and center of the soundstage. Finally, on the tops, which include the pads, I'll experiment with the Widener. So I'm definitely hearing a much bigger sound on the pads with a lot of sparkle extending quite further into the stereo field. Again, it's unclear exactly how this is happening under the hood, but the results are certainly satisfactory. The Deepener and the Widener are available individually for $99 US, but they're more affordable in the stage package, which is currently on sale at the time of recording this video. The normal pricing seems to be $159 US, but it's available for $119 at the moment. If you're having trouble hearing the results of these devices, good news, Mastertones offers a 14-day free trial, so you can test them out yourself with no risk. If you're looking for a way to add polish and presence, and of course a bit of width to your mix, not to mention individual ingredients therein, the Stage Package Bundle is definitely worth checking out.